A brand for a company is like a reputation for a person. You earn reputation by trying to do hard things well. The human brain is an incredible pattern-matching machine. We see our customers as invited guests to a party, and we are the hosts. It's our job every day to make every important aspect of the customer experience a little bit better. I believe you have to be willing to be misunderstood if you're going to innovate. What we need to do is always lean into the future. When the world changes around you and when it changes against you, what used to be a tailwind is now a headwind. You have to lean into that and figure out what to do, because complaining isn't a strategy. If you don't understand the details of your business, you are going to fail. What's dangerous is not to evolve. If you do build a great experience, customers tell each other about that. Word of mouth is very powerful. It's not an experiment if you know it's going to work. Life's too short to hang out with people who aren't resourceful. If you can't tolerate critics, don't do anything new or interesting. I think frugality drives innovation, just like other constraints do. One of the only ways to get out of a tight box is to invent your way out. We've had 3 big ideas at Amazon that we've stuck with for 18 years, and they're the reason we're successful. Put the customer first, invent, and be patient. If you're competitor-focused, you have to wait until there is a competitor doing something. Being customer-focused allows you to be more pioneering. The common question that gets asked in business is, why? That's a good question, but an equally valid question is, why not? The best customer service is if the customer doesn't need to call you, doesn't need to talk to you. It just works. There'll always be serendipity involved in discovery. Our motto at Blue Origin is Gradatum Ferociter, step by step, ferociously. There are 2 kinds of companies, those that work to try to charge more and those that work to charge less. We will be the second. What consumerism really is, at its worst, is getting people to buy things that don't actually improve their lives. My view is there's no bad time to innovate. Because, resilience, if you think of it in terms of the gold rush, then you'd be pretty depressed right now because the last nugget of gold would be gone. But the good thing is, with innovation, there isn't a last nugget. Every new thing creates 2 new questions and 2 new opportunities. Great industries are never made from single companies. There is room in space for a lot of winners. There are 2 ways to extend a business. Take inventory of what you're good at and extend out from your skills, or determine what your customers need and work backward, even if it requires learning new skills. Kindle is an example of working backward. You don't want to negotiate the price of simple things you buy every day. The thing that motivates me is a very common form of motivation, and that is, with other folks counting on me, it's so easy to be motivated. Amazon.com strives to be the e-commerce destination where consumers can find and discover anything they want to buy online. The key thing about a book is that you lose yourself in the author's world. If your customer base is aging with you, then eventually you are going to become obsolete or irrelevant. You need to be constantly figuring out who are your new customers and what are you doing to stay forever young. Market leadership can translate directly to higher revenue, higher profitability, greater capital velocity, and correspondingly stronger returns on invested capital. I don't want to use my creative energy on somebody else's user interface. A company shouldn't get addicted to being shiny because shiny doesn't last. Part of company culture is path dependent. It's the lessons you learn along the way. I think there are going to be a bunch of tablet-like devices. It's really a different product category. Real estate is the key cost of physical retailers. That's why there's the old saw, location, location, location. It is very difficult to get people to focus on the most important things when you're in boom times. Percentage margins don't matter. What matters always is dollar margins, the actual dollar amount. Companies are valued not on their percentage margins, but on how many dollars they actually make and a multiple of that. The solar system can support 1 trillion humans, and then we'd have 1,000 Mozarts and 1,000 Einsteins. People will visit Mars, they will settle Mars, and we should because it's cool. If you only do things where you know the answer in advance, your company goes away. I read The High Frontier in high school. I read it multiple times and I was already primed. As soon as I read it, it made sense to me. It seemed very clear that planetary surfaces were not the right place for an expanding civilization inside our solar system. I'm a genetic optimist. No matter what your mission is, have some notion in your head. Forget the model, whether it's government or non-profit or profit. Ask yourself the more important question, is my mission improving the world? Are you sure about it? Seek to disconfirm that all the time, and if you can, change your missy. I'm skeptical of any mission that has advertisers at its centerpiece. We expect all our businesses to have a positive impact on our top and bottom lines. Profitability is very important to us or we wouldn't be in this business. I think that I'm a very goofy sort of person in many ways. I strongly believe that missionaries make better products. They care more. For a missionary, it's not just about the business. There has to be a business, and the business has to make sense, but that's not why you do it. You do it because you have something meaningful that motivates you. On the internet, companies are scale businesses characterized by high fixed costs and relatively low variable costs. You can be two sizes, you can be big or you can be small. It's very hard to be medium. A lot of medium-sized companies had the financing rug pulled out from under them before they see. The book is not really the container for the book. The book itself is the narrative. It's the thing that people create. For many people, extended reading sessions on an LCD display cause eye strain. We're working on New Glenn, which is our orbital vehicle, but we have in our mind's eye an even bigger vehicle called New Armstrong. I don't think that you can invent on behalf of customers unless you're willing to think long term, because a lot of invention doesn't work. If you're going to invent, it means you're going to experiment, and if you're going to experiment, you're going to fail, and if you're going to fail, you have tea. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Quotes of the day.